And she was the first person who stood up at the end of the symposium after she got the inspiration and the energy to really see this movement continue. She became our first financial supporter at that event. And because of her, many others were encouraged to support Haitian Ladies Network. We cannot thank her enough. She knows that she's the godmother. She loves to call herself the godmother, and we believe she's the godmother of Haitian Ladies Network. And for this reason, she chose our weekend to have a soft launch of her second book. Wow. She's going to tell you all about herself, but I wanted you to know how important she is to us, to the network, and how she's doing everything that she can to ensure that this network is sustained for decades to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Am I on? You plugged me, right? Okay. I know I was being plugged. All right, guys. Let's relax. We are at home, and we're going to have fun. I tell stories. I don't write books. I don't know how to spell. I don't speak English well. Let's make that clear. It's rhyme, right? You see? I can't even rhyme. So I write the story, and I send it to a woman named MJ Fievre, Jessica Fievre. Jessica Fievre is in Florida. I'm just giving you the secret. The first book she didn't do. But this is my first book, which I'll talk about. This book, Jessica did. Girls Can Move Mountains, Rewriting the Rules of Female Entrepreneurship. So that's the second book that she did. This one, I gave her 500 typed, written pages, and she gave me 282 or 285. I always ask her, what did you do with the rest? She said 90% of it was repeat. Told you we're gonna have fun, right? So after I wrote this book, and the section I'm gonna read for you here is the story that I'm telling you so that you understand. After I wrote this book, I got invited to go to Cannes, France, at the film festival to introduce my book to 4 movie producers. Okay? So I ended up in France, and I presented my book to those movie producers. And then one day, I was at my house in Florida. I got a call, and this guy said, I am Dr. Bordache. I'm a producer. I have 2 hours in Florida, and I was wondering if I can take you out to lunch. And I said, oh, Dr. Bordache, why don't you come to my house? I'll feed you lunch. Wow. So I called my brother. I said, go to Rio, bring me some nice Italian food. I have a bottle of red wine at my house, and Dr. Bordache came to my house. So where I live in a resort. You have to be announced for people to come in. So the front people called me. I said, okay, you can let him in. So I went to my front door, and I went to meet him. He parked his car in my driveway, and he said, and the movie will start right here, and we'll finish it in Haiti. Wow. So I had lunch with Dr. Bordache, a little shrimp, little white man, you know. So we had nice lunch. And the one thing he said to me, he said, the story is not finished. He said, the story is not finished for a movie. You need to write another book. That was because of Dr. Bordache that I write this book that I'm launching here. It's called a soft launch, what I'm doing. It's not gonna be on Amazon yet. And because my team wants to redo my website completely. They want to hire a publicist. They want to do a big deal with this book. So you guys are getting the very first that just came out. You know when I just got this? I flew here on Wednesday and the boxes got to my house on Tuesday. That's how fresh this is, okay? So that's the book that we're going to talk a little bit about this time. I would recommend that if you have not read this, to buy this and then read this. Because again, it's a sequel. It's the end. This book ended with my husband's death, sudden death. And this book starts with me at Sibley Hospital, spending my 55th birthday at my husband's bedside, dying. He died 4 days after my birthday. So, but my life that you will hear a little bit on tomorrow, because these people that I'm their godmother gave me 10 minutes for tomorrow. Before I yeah. All right. Didn't I tell you we were going to have fun? We're going to have fun. They gave me 10 minutes. I don't know how much can an NN do in 10 minutes? You know, by the time I go up the stage, 10 minutes is gone. So tomorrow I have a prepared speech and it's on women empowerment. Because since I sold my business, I had a big business in Washington, D.C. I climbed a lot of mountains in Washington, D.C., raised a lot of hell, did a lot. I ended up being for the American Healthcare Association. I'm in health, or I was in health, because right now I don't work anymore. I work for free, just like Asian ladies. They all work for free.
That's so true.
They work for free for us. So I ended up being the only black person, not the only Caribbean, not the only female, the only black person ever elected nationally vice president for the American Healthcare Association. To date. And I'll tell you quickly before I start reading that story. I became a licensed nursing home administrator. And I went to my convention, okay, 5,000 people or more at convention, traveled all over the United States. And I went to the first convention. And there was a dais, there was 5,000 people, big ballroom, and they were bringing up all the officers. And it was Mr. So-and-so, Vice President for Quality, accompanied by his lovely wife, Mrs. So-and-so. They all, 100% of the officers for that association were white men with white women with blonde hair, blue eyes, and diamond. So I went the first year. I went the second year. I went the third year, and the third year I look at Anna, who is my good girlfriend. She's from Venezuela, who's light-skinned too. I said to Anna, one day, this little black girl is going to go up there with my tall, dark, and handsome husband. And that's what I told Anna. It took me 15 years to get up there. And I was persistent. That's how you climb mountains. There will be obstacles along the way. Never forget. Life is full of shit. If you don't clean it, it's going to kill you. No. The smell alone will kill you. And it happened every day. It's one after the other. We have obstacles along the way. And what I tell my women, sorry guys, I talk to women. What I tell women is that if you're driving, there is a police car that is blocking the road. Do you just jam into the police car? What do? You found a detour until you get back to where you were going. That's what obstacles are all about. This is one you can see, but they happen every day to all of us. I was just, in a session when the woman talked about the earthquake. She lost her mother and her father at one time. Think about that happening to you. But things happen to us every day. All we have to do is to know how to clean it. Just clean it and move on. As long as you don't clean it, it's going to stay with you and the smell will kill you. Trauma. I was raped in New York City by the law. I came in the country with no papers. I was on a 2-month visa and my parents said, don't you dare come back. Because that was under Duvalier and the Totomacoute would have killed me because I was fresh. I was cute, I was fresh, and my dad knew I would not make it. I graduated high school. 2 weeks later, I was in America on a 2-month visa with a strict order not to go back. Just check that one out, okay? And I had a white lawyer that was trying to give me papers. I spent 3 years working as a nanny in white people's home. The woman standing in front of you worked in people's home. In the 60s, when I came to America, those were the people who give me papers to be legal in the country. And that lawyer raped me. And what he told me was, if you tell anyone, I am going to deport you and you will never be able to come back. And I never talked about it. And you know when I talked about it? When I was writing this book. My sister did not know. Mrs. Silverman, the lady I was working for, they would have done something. I didn't tell anyone. It was during the Me Too movement. And I wrote that in the book. It was during the Me Too movement when I was given the courage to talk about it and to write about it. So things happen to all of us. But what I tell my women is that, and remember this, your beginning does not have to define your end. And I'm going to say it again. It's not only women, it's all of us. Your beginning does not have to define your end. My end. In this book I wrote, if 20, 30, or 50 years ago somebody would tell me I would be flying like I'm flying right now, I would tell you you're crazy. I even put, if a voodoo priest told me, I would tell him he was crazy. Because I'm having a wonderful life right now. And I'm grateful. I'm great. I'm 77 years old. 77. You know.
Let me see your license.
She said, let me see your license.
Let me see your government papers.
Yeah, what government papers? Yeah, right? But this is what, and the reason I'm doing this, sometime when I talk all over, and when I tell you I'm all over, I am all over the place speaking. And I'm doing it not to brag, which I do a little bit too. It is not to brag, but I do it because I want people to know that your beginning does not define your end. You can do it. All of us can do it. All of us can do it. We need to learn to identify opportunities. Because very often, the opportunity is in front of us, and we don't take advantage of it. You have to learn to identify the opportunity and capitalize on it. The other thing I will tell you is that in every negative, there is a hair of positivity in that negative. Just find it. Just find it and capitalize on it. All right? It's that important for us to know this. So what I wanted to do was to kind of talk to you a little bit about those 3 books. Now this little one, this was my first book. This little one, I was writing this book. And I was doing research. And I'm online, I put Solange. Because I never knew. I wanted to see the definition. Because you know. and I saw a statue of a beheaded girl called Saint Solange. No one in Haiti knew there is a saint called Saint Solange. I was in my high 60s when I discovered that there is a saint called Saint Solange. And I sat up. It was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I was on my phone. Well, I started to reading. And it turned out that this little girl died at the age of 17. I think it was about the age of 7, she gave her life to Christ. She was very religious, and I read about her. Her mom was a seamstress. My mom was a seamstress. Her dad was a laborer. My dad was a laborer. She gave her life to Christ. I did my first communion at the age of 10, and she gave her life to Christ at 7. She cared for the sick. I became a nurse, and I discovered we were born the same month and the same date. Wow. So we both have the same birthday. And I said, this is too much. I couldn't stand it anymore. So I did a lot of research, and I discovered she had a village. Up to now, we're talking about 984 or something, long time ago. There's a village today called Saint Solanges Village. There is a Saint Solange Church. There is a Saint Solange Chapel. This is Saint Solange Chapel. And I decided within a month, I was in Saint Solange Chapel. And it's in Bourges, France. I spent a whole month in the village. I get to know the village people. Poor little place like Haiti in France. And I became friends. They called me the Black American lady. So I just, a couple of years ago, her chapel was in bad shape. So I'm renovating the chapel. I put the gutters on the chapel. I redid all the windows already. I just painted the whole outside, and I'm gonna do the roof of her chapel. So that's what life is all about, guys. You never know where God is putting us or what assignment Christ has for us. I don't know your belief, but I'm a person of faith. And I believe it's my faith and my turtles that put me where I am today. Because you have to have faith. We have to have something to hold on to. And when I discovered her, I realized why I am who I am. And sometimes I even believe that she's in me. I believe in assignments. God gave all of us assignments. All of us have assignments. Some of us understand this is a mission and we do it, and others don't realize it. The same way opportunities is right in front of you, you don't see it, but some of us do realize that. So I was in America in a white world, as I told you, HCA and all of that. And how did I become who I am is important to share so you understand. I told you about working at the white people's home and all of that. I went to nursing school, did it all. And I was working at a nursing home. And I'm sitting in my office, and there was this white gentleman who, they rented the space in the basement to do physical therapy. And Victor came to my office, and we were talking. He said, you know what are you doing here? I said, what do you mean, what am I doing? I'm the administrator of the nursing home. He said, no, you have more value than this. You can be more than this. Why aren't you a regional director? You can work for those big corporations and blah, blah, blah. I said, Victor, I know my 1-year goal, my 3-year goal, and my 5-year goals. So he said, so what do you want to do in 3 years? I said, in 3 years, I want to have my own management company to manage for people, to make money for me and not for them. And he said, do you know my partner and I are looking for someone like you. We want to do this, but we didn't have someone like you. Before I know it, I was at lunch with Victor and Dr. Merendino. Before I know it, we formed a corporation. I managed the whole thing. The first contract was an $11 million contract. We got to manage a nursing home, okay? I got another nursing home, and I bought both of them out, and I got 100% of the business. That's how I bought them out, okay? Now, where did I get the money? I didn't buy a new home. I didn't buy a Mercedes. I didn't buy, my husband and I would just save every penny because he believed that we should buy them out so we can take over 100% of the company if we really want to move up, which I did. I ended up buying them out, and I ended up being 100% ownership of the company. And then I added the home care agency, and I added the school, and I just took it over. So I was in that white environment all my education life, okay? But you have to, they're talking about opportunities. I took advantage of their company. And I stayed with all their people, Morgan Stanley, all their top people they knew. Now I become their friends. I become their customer, you see. So I was in an environment of a lot of white people to a point where when I used to go to my sisters, they used to say that I think Creole is my second language. Because when I'm speaking Creole, I had 2 words of English, 1 word of Creole, 2 words of Creole, 2 words of English, because I speak English, whatever they used to say that I used to talk. So when I'm going to go over a little section with you, and that's what brought me to the section I want to read. I closed this book, and the title of this last chapter is Reconnected with My Roots. That's why I think it's important to talk about, to give you a little history so this can make sense to you when I'm going over this little section. And it's a little bit long, so bear with me. I need lights. While in America, amidst the shimmering skyscrapers and ceaseless hum of city life, I realized fairly quickly that if you can beat them, you had to figure out a way to drain them, and that education was everything. All day we talked about education, right? Through the years, in addition to getting degrees and working in prestigious hospitals and nursing homes, each hive of knowledge and medical prowess, I created a path for me to become successful. I married a non-Creole speaking intellectual, a tall, dark, and handsome gentleman with a keen intellect that matched his striking exterior, who was instrumental in who I became. People say I wrote the first book to honor my husband. I married well as well. With all of that shit, I married well too. I partnered with 2 Caucasian millionaires. They both were rich men, white millionaire, to form a company, an adventurous leap into the plushing heart of the business world. I joined major boards and commissions and was elected officer at state and national association. Each achievement was another bright, colorful feather in my well-decorated cap. I used legal consultant from reputable law firm. My taxes and banking services was from well-known companies. I learned it was not who you know that matters. Very important, guys. It is not who you know that matters. It is who knows you. That makes a difference. A revelation that echoed powerfully in my eager mind. I observed how the top professionals in my field navigated their career, and I replicated their success, adding a touch of class and zest. I danced through this new landscape with a rhythm and vitality all my own. I would often be in the company of others and the only minority in the room. A singular drop of ink in a sea of blank paper. I always felt like I was at the right place at the right time. Never did I feel that I did not belong. Of course, on the contrary, I saw myself as equal to or better than others as we shared the same oxygen in the room. If I'm breathing the air next to you, that's because I belong. Remember that.
Say that again. Say that again.
You like that? You like that quote, don't you? I always felt like I was at the right place at the right time. Never did I feel that I did not belong. On the contrary, I saw myself equal to or better than others as we shared the same oxygen in the room. It was as though I was painting over the plain canvas of my past with the bold, vibrant colors of newfound self-identity and ambition. Having chosen that path to build my success, I was not deliberately distancing myself from my Haitian roots. It was mainly due to circumstances and the environment in which I was operating. Like a boat on the open sea, adjusting its course with the changing winds. I was around other Caribbean individuals, but very few Haitians. My husband was British from the island of Barbados and worked at the Organization of American States, then at the International Telecommunication and Satellites. As such, we were surrounded not only by Caribbean islanders, but Asian, Latino, and African from the continent of Africa, with few representatives from Haiti. My ties to my Haitian roots, tenuous at best, limited to sparse family gathering that serve as bittersweet reminders of my cultural heritage, stirring a longing within me that was both melancholic and comforting. So when I go to my sisters, I feel good. I was in the Haitian environment, but then I go back to my white people world. My sisters would jokingly say that I spoke Creole just as though it was my second language. I was ecstatic when I was invited to attend a Haitian women's luncheon at the Haitian Embassy in Washington, D.C., a symphony of familiar faces. Accent and cultural awaited me, a promise of home. It was the first time in a long time that I was in the presence of so many individuals of Haitian descent, women at that. Bathing in the grand atmosphere of the embassy, a stately manner. I'm sorry, I'm being emotional at this point. A stately manner radiating with the dignity and pride of my homeland. The aroma of familiar spices in the air and the hum of Creole conversation surrounding me, I felt a piece of home had found me. And I hope that many of you feel that piece of home being here. I will never forget the spread of delicious Haitian food on the buffet table, the rich aroma, the vibrant colors, and the distinctive taste of each dish. Each bite was a nostalgic journey, transporting me back to my youth. The potent flavors evoked tales of my homeland, whispering stories of a past I cherished. I did not know most of the women. However, I still felt at home and somewhat familiar in their presence. Like a sweet melody hummed in the background, every year I continued to attend the luncheon and became more comfortable and appreciative of the sisterhood being developed. A flourishing garden of shared roots, experiences, and dreams. As I grew closer to these wonderful women, Forming many friendships along the way, I found myself in a position where I could offer suggestions to the steering committee. I have their pictures in my book. I invited the whole steering committee to my house for dinner. So they are my friends now, okay? Remember, I did not know any of them. And I hope the same thing happened to many of you, that one day you will realize the value of this group. In 2013, I was on the cover of the Washington Women's Magazine. Your little Haitian girl is on the cover of the Washington Women's Magazine. I carried at least 50 copies of the magazine to share with my fellow Haitian sisters. Unfortunately, I was denied the opportunity by the leader of the group, who informed me that they did not allow marketing or advertising at the luncheon. With a heavy heart and a sense of rejection I hadn't expected, I returned home. My box of untouched magazines, a silent testimony to my disappointment. I continued, that's the point I want you all to remember. I continued to attend and offer advice, never giving up. And that's my personality. That's how you climb mountains. If mountains were smooth, we will never be able to get up to the peak of the mountains. Mountains are rough. So when something happens, don't take it personal. And you're going to see why I'm telling you this. Where was I? Okay. I persistently encouraged Nadine. I continued. I persistently encouraged Nadine, the steering committee chairperson, to recognize the potential in our group of Haitian women and to diversify our gathering beyond just lunch. It was important to me. I could see the boundless potential in this tapestry of vibrant lives. Finally, the group made a thrilling decision to organize a symposium extending our usual luncheon into a weekend-long celebration of shared heritage and collective wisdom. It was a momentous leap forward, a turning point promising a new level of connection and impact. It was like watching a lotus blossom. A new beginning of something beautiful. Now listen, unexpectedly, on the last day of the conference, Nadine invited me to the stage to deliver the closing remarks. At this function, no notes, nothing. She just called me and asked me to come to the stage to deliver closing remarks. And let me tell you what happened. I recall sharing that I hired an average of about 800 people in my business. I had over 800 people in my business. Yet, due to language barriers and a lack of established network, I found it challenging to communicate these vacancies to my well-qualified Haitian sisters. I was actually aware of the vast sea of opportunity that lay before us, yet I felt like a captain without a ship, unable to steer my Haitian sisters toward this promising horizon. Without giving it a second thought, I shifted my focus from the audience and spoke to Nadine, just as though we were the only two in the room. In this moment of shared spotlight, a new path was being carved. I was in awe that such a group existed, considering my entry to America when I felt so alone and lonely. That was in 1965 when I came to America. How I wish such a group existed in my days. I wanted Haitian women to value the sisterhood that was being created. So I pledged $10,000 for a directory and $10,000 for the next 3 consecutive years to ensure that this was not the first and the last symposium. I was genuinely impressed and wanted to see more for this group. And I am the happiest godmother to see where this group is today. And the vision that I have for this group, listening to those women talking about the women in Haiti, we can do more.
Yes. Yes.
As the Haitian Ladies Network started to blossom, it was clear that a more modern approach to membership was needed. Instead of a traditional directory, we turned to social media. The strategy paid off as our follower count quickly exploded to between 30, 50,000 members. How many members do we have right now? We're talking about a directory, a paper directory, to online with 95,000 people, guys. This is what this is all about. And if that little steering committee with no paid executive director can accomplish this, just realize what Haitian women can do. We need a woman president in Haiti.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
All right. It was like watching a firework burst into the night for me, into the night sky. That's what the Haitian Ladies is to me. Vivid, awe, inspiring, and full of potential. Okay? They nicknamed me. I didn't nickname myself. Let me make that correction for Farah. Nadine is who told me that the group nicknamed me the godmother of Haitian Ladies Network, an honor that filled my heart with warmth and pride. My gesture, a token of pure love, had no hidden expectation for a return on investment. Yet, are you ready? I was embraced by this cohesive, powerful group of women when I published my book, Girls Can Move Mountains, that Haitian Ladies Network was the first to create an international event during the COVID-19 pandemic to blast my book worldwide. And I credit this network, Haitian Ladies, my sisters, for the success of my book. So when you come here, you don't know what you're going to get out of it. You don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know where it's going to take you. I will forever be grateful to my Haitian network of DC. This launch today, my book, you're the first to read, to hear anything about it. This launch was, that they did for me, was watched around the world. Books were ordered as far as Prague. Books were ordered as far as Prague. Doing a good deed, I have found, not only bring a sense of personal satisfaction, but also often yield to unexpected rewards. So when you do a good deed, you don't do it because of what you're going to get immediately, because you have no idea how God is going to send somebody else to do something for you. What I tell people is that every street have two sides. You all know that, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. Every street. And on one side, God put people to help you. And on the other side, God put people for you to help. The people that is on this side to help you don't expect anything from you. They don't expect anything from you. Their job was to help you. The same thing for you. God put you on this side to help others. Don't you expect anything from the people that you help. It's not their job. You know, very, very often we make that mistake. For what I did for her. Look what. No, it's true. when you do something for someone, do it because you feel good about doing it, not because you expect something in return from the person. Now, sometimes we do. Oh, sometimes we do a lot, get a lot from other people, you know. But don't expect it, because expectation yields to disappointment. The more you expect something from someone, the more you're going to become disappointed from that person, because you're waiting for them to do something. If you don't tell me what you expect from me, I will not know that you expect something, and then what's going to happen? You're going to be disappointed from me. Well, tell me what you want. And if I pinch you, it hurt, tell me it hurt. But if you don't tell me the pinch hurt, I'm going to pinch you again. And maybe... All right, I'm done, because if I start reading, but I want you to get the flavor. I finished the book with Haitian ladies. The last chapter of my book is on Haitian Ladies Network. So I want you to realize what that group meant to me because of where I come from in the 60s, and then for me to discover this, but I don't want you to take Haitian ladies for granted. I want all of you to understand the value of what we have here, the value of what that little group of women have done. You need to appreciate it, and not only saying it's good, but let's see how you're going to do something. By putting it in the book is my way of elevating what's going on, because each of you are going to read it, and somebody else is going to read it. It's talking about Haitian ladies. It meant that much to me to put it in the book, and that's not all. The whole chapter is on Haitian ladies. I did a podcast with my book, and a girl wrote in the chat, "Can you please help me find my voice?" And I told, oh my goodness, I need a personal assistant. I almost forget. My personal assistant just resigned because she moved to Illinois, so I'm looking for a personal assistant to help me. So anyway, let me drop the bomb here so that if anybody is interested. And Fanny was my personal assistant. And I said to Fanny, you need to find that girl. She's in trouble. You need to find her. And believe it or not, through her electronic detective, she found the girl. She lives in Boston. She was 24 and got in contact with her. I became her mentor, and I helped her to get out of where she was. And we're on the phone all the time. And last year, I invited her to come to Haitian Ladies. And I invited her to stay at my house. The first time I met her was when I opened my front door. Didn't know her, talked to her on the phone all the time. We do FaceTime, and I invited her. And she came and she stayed at my house for 4 days. That's Haitian Ladies. Yes. All right? This is what this is all about. She couldn't come this year because she just got a new job. But she's not dumb. She's a master prepared girl, and she was working at Harvard University in the admission department. It's not that she was dumb. She's a smart girl. But she was in a bind, and she did not know how to get out of it. Her sister got out, but she was in a bind. And we talked. It used to be every day, then less, because she was doing good. She moved out of the situation, got her own place, and she called and said, I got my key. I got my key. I said, wonderful. You know. So she became like a daughter, and I counseled her. And bringing her to Haitian Ladies was another way to give her exposure, you see. So this is what it's all about. We are not crabs. Don't allow people to say Haitian women are crabs. We pull each other down. We are not crabs. And if you so happen to have been a crab as of today, please don't be a crab. One last thing, you know I have a turtle on me. I am the turtle lady because, I want you to all remember that, in order for a turtle to move forward, the turtle must stick its neck out. A turtle in a shell is like a stone. When the head is in, the turtle cannot move. For a turtle to move, the turtle needs to stick the neck out, and that's how the turtle moves. And all my life, all I have done is sticking my neck out. So I love my turtle. The difference between a turtle and a deer. You always see dead deer on the side of the road, but you don't see dead turtle on the side of the road. Because the turtle knows and feel the car coming, put their head, get in a corner, and the turtle wait, and the car pass, and the turtle say, "Sight, got you!" And the turtle keep going. The deer, hop, 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 bam! Now, last time I spoke, I have a video of turtle and deer that I usually play before I speak. There was a woman at Haitian Ladies. It was in a plenary session. She was at the table. The woman cried the whole time. And she came and she said to me, she said, I've been a deer all my life. That's what she said. She said, I have been a deer all my life. Oh no, see, my phone said, did you have a fall? I just called 911 for me. My phone talked to me. My watch talked to me. And the lady was crying. She said, I have been a deer all my life. She said, I promise you, I'm going to work very hard to become a turtle. So it's important to understand that you control your life. And in the book, I talked about the chocolate. You all know the story, right? Another one I'm going to drop. You have to let me know how much time I have. I pass time, as usual. But people are listening. They're having a good time. You see? No. I'm going to end right here. But I got it. Yeah, I want to go to Lagos. This is better. This is education.
Yes.
One last one. Oh, I got to do the drawing. I'm sorry. One last one. People say life is like a box of chocolate. I'm sure you've read that places. Life is like a box of chocolate. Life is not a box of chocolate. When you open a box of chocolate, there is white chocolate, brown chocolate, nuts, and all kind of triangle. That's not life. Your box of life is what you put in it. It is not like a box of chocolate, ladies and gentlemen. Know what you're putting in your box of chocolate. And the last thing is the girl in the mirror. This is my new thing this year. The girl in the mirror. Tell women, stand in front of a mirror and talk to that girl. I am going to raffle 3 things. So are you ready? Yes. Look at this. Wow. Girls can move mountains. And because I'm a turtle, I'm going to give somebody something really pretty. Oh, wow. All right? So, come on, let's do the raffle real quick because Farah always is the one to tell me.
One late entry, one last entry.
Yeah, Leonie.
Come on, let's go.
The winning entry.
I have four things that I'm going to raffle. Not 1, 4. Come on, let's do it quick. Nadine, come. I'm going to let Nadine do it. Nadine, come. You can go in the middle. Nadine, I'm gonna do this book first. Come on, that's enough shaking. They want us to go. Girls can move. You pick.
Oh my goodness, I'm in trouble. Marie-Louise Durand.
If the person is not here, you're not here, you lose. That's the fun part. Oh, well, I have it.
It's Solanges Vivens. That's okay.
Left early, oh well.
You have to be present to win.
We need IT. She filled it up yesterday. No.
She has a name tag.
Okay, name tag will do.
You wait. You bought this book yesterday, right?
No, she bought the other one.
Okay. So, oh, you bought the other one, and I told you needed to read this first.
Okay, let's
All right, next. Let's go quick.
Next.
I'll take a picture with you when it's done.
It's too much pressure. Maggie Belliard.
That's the second one. The third one is the cup. Third one is the cup. I love to have fun. Who? Nancy Asime. Not here.
Geraldine Dalma.
Geraldine Delma.
I never win anything. Thank you.
Oh. All right. Woo!
Carol Ann Volet. Here.
That's it. I'm done. Oops, sorry, darling.
Sorry.
This lady here got the turtle with the mask.